A very good morning and welcome to day 2 of the meditation session with the Heartfulness. Yesterday, after some fits and starts in the morning, we managed to rerun the session in the evening, and what a beautiful session it was. Kind of feedback that I have got from the participants yesterday speaks about how fulfilling, how relaxing the session was, and we are really looking forward to today's session and how it's going to unfold and what it's going to bring to us. I have the pleasure of introducing Mr. Sunil Naik. He's the CEO of Reliance Jewels, and I would invite him to express his thoughts and opinions about this whole session before we get on to the main session. So over to you, Sunil.
Thank you. Thank you so much for inviting me for today's session. I think when we welcomed year 2020, we never knew that for most part of the year, we will remain homebound. We will operate out of home, be it official work, be it your personal thing. In fact, we may not be able to meet most of our colleagues and relatives and friends for months together. I think, as we all know, this is the first time in the history it might have happened. So obviously it brings both economically and emotionally challenges in your life. Your relationship which you have nurtured for years with the external world, both at the personal and professional level, gets tasted during this such time. And obviously it brings tensions and stress in your life. While I may not be able to comment on your personal relationship, but one thing is for sure, I'm sure all of us put together, we must be thanking our stars that we are in the right company during this challenging period. We all know economically, emotionally, and on the health grounds, we have that comfort that there is a company, our own employers will take care of not only ourselves, but the family also. Having said that, I think our body and mind need to remain strong during this challenging time, because it is going to get tested. And in my personal opinion, out of my experience, I must share this with you, that yoga, which is basically yogasana and your stretching exercise, meditation, which basically are pranayamas, if you follow these two, I think life could be little much better than what it otherwise could be. Other than that, I think the need of the hours is to remain in constant touch by whatever way we can with the world. The communication plays a very, very important role when you are passing through the stress period. And I think I would like to share my own experience in my own life. I must make a mention of my father, who is running 86 years this year, has been practicing yoga for almost 5 decades. In fact, he had, I must specify, he had a group of 5 friends who have studied together from the Podar College. Obviously, with the age growing, he started losing his friends. Just last week, he lost one of his close friends. And touch wood, he's still doing great in his life. With this challenging coming up, I think what he has done is that he has increased his yoga and meditation practices. So I think I can't give a better example than my own father. And if you listen to him, today also he could be more clearer in his communication and more disciplined in his life than me. To talk about myself, I think I have also, like others, I have also passed through challenges in my life, both at personal and professional level. Just to let you know, those people who may not know my background, I have worked in some of the most challenging countries in the world, be it Middle East or Africa. And I will also, I would say I had also opportunity to pass through the Iraq war too while I was based in Kuwait. I think had I not been practicing my meditation and the yoga practices, I'm not sure how successfully I would have handled that period, leading a team of about 600 people working for a retail group called Landmark Group. So, for a sure, in my opinion, I think the yogic practices and meditations builds both the mental and the physical health. Today, I think the company is giving us one more opportunity to review our life and see, make use of the opportunity which this session can offer to us. Just to share again one more time, in the last 3 months, I have been at home and I have worked harder on my body and mind, and I am happy to share with you that I have lost my weight for about by 4 kg, and I expect to lose 1 more kg. Obviously, the fitter body and mind can definitely increase the confidence in yourself, and you will be able to handle the challenges in a much better way. So I'll not take much of your time. I open the session for the day, and I wish you all the best in the time to come. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Can I now request Rishi to start the session?
Yep. Thank you. Thank you, Nitin. Thanks, Sunil. I think Sunil has set the tone for the session, I think. And thanks to all the participants, Reliance team, and thanks to all the audience who are joining us. I think Sunil has set the session by, kind of laying down the groundwork of what we are trying to do. My name is Rishi Ranjan. I am Heartfulness trainer, and I am practicing Heartfulness for 23 years. I work with IBM, and living a corporate life, living a family life, and also trying to practice yoga. So I think it's a wonderful opportunity given to all of us by the Reliance Group to introduce something which is very, very essential for our sustenance as human beings. And why I'm saying so, we'll go over it over the next, couple of minutes. So we all are familiar with the concept of yoga. So what is yoga? We have been hearing about it. It is like, when since childhood, when a person goes and writes the exam, the mother or the father or the teacher says, "Dekho, dhyan se exam dena." Be attentive and do that. Dhyan se road cross karna. Dhyan se ye karna. Be attentive and do that. You should not succumb to all these things which are there in your mind and heart. Just be attentive on that one thing. But what is meditation and what is yoga and what is dhyan is not explained that much clearly, so that it becomes like a everyday yoga for us. It becomes like, taking bath or, brushing our teeth. Still, yoga concepts are kept away from outside in very abstract manner. So gently put, what is yoga? And there are a lot many discussions on what is yoga and what is not yoga. But, one of the founders, Patanjali, laid down the yogic sutras, and I will not go in much detail. Only one line, if we can just remember one line. He says, yoga chitta vritti nirodha. Means whatever the troubles going on in our mind, vritti, there is a whirlpool of vrittis. There are so many thoughts, so many impressions moving around in us, that at any given point of time, we are not able to give ourselves 100% to one thought. And that is kind of making us go through a lot of sufferings and misery, because we have so many of these thoughts in our head. And what does yoga do? Yoga, chitta vritti nirodha, chitta vritti. In our consciousness, vritti, all these cessations of thoughts is what yoga is. You kind of settle down, you kind of lay down yourself. So the next moment, you are able to utilize all our potential to its fullest, right? Now, that's so much for yoga. I will not go much in detail. It's all philosophy. What we are trying to bring as Heartfulness team today is a very beautiful technique which will make us realize these thoughts which are coming to us and their impact on us, right? So think of this session like an experiment, right? This experiment will help us realize the most beautiful thing, very vital thing for human existence is how to deal with our thoughts, right? Let's start the session by polling few questions. Can we have the first questions, please, on the Mentimeter? So it's a small question. It says, how many thoughts per day do we have, right? Is it 12 to 60? It is 120 to 600 thoughts per day, 1200 to 6000 thoughts per day, or 12,000 to 60,000 thoughts per day? How many thoughts per day do we have? You can go to menti.com and use the code 211320. So through your mobile, you can go to menti.com, www.menti.com. So we all know that throughout the day, we have so many thoughts which are coming into our mind, whether it is conscious thought or subconscious thought. But, how many thoughts do we think we have per day? And each and every thought is basically utilizing our energy. So think of it like, we have thoughts, but we may not be aware of it, but they're utilizing our energy. It is like in your CPU, you have, some, malware which is there, which is utilizing our energy, but you're not aware of it, right? So how many thoughts per day do we have? I think we all are taking a high ground and going with the largest number. So we'll wait for a minute for everybody to. So these data is as per the research done by National Science Foundation, and they published an article in 2005 based on their research on human thoughts per day. So fair enough. I think we get an idea that most of us are saying we have 12,000 to 60,000 thoughts per day. Can we go to the answer, please? Yeah. So the right answer is what you all have chosen. We have 12,000 to 60,000 thoughts per day. So yes, we are processing consciously, subconsciously, many data which we are having. 12,000 to 60,000 thoughts per day, which is roughly, at a high, scale, it is like 40 thoughts per, minute, which is like, huge amount of data which we are processing. Now let's go to the second point. Can we have the second question, please? Now, out of these 12,000 to 60,000 thoughts, how many repetitive thoughts per day do we have? I mean, is the same thought which is happening day before yesterday, today, and the possibility of happening it next time will be much higher. Repetitive thoughts, same thought. I mean, there is nothing different. It is the same thought. The behavior pattern is same. The tendencies are same. How many repetitive thoughts per day do we have? we can go to menti.com and use the code 211320 to give our answers. Now, human beings, we as human beings, I think we are blessed with something which has been written in Yoga Sutras as Kalpana Shakti, the imagination, right? The animals cannot have this Kalpana Shakti, or the plants cannot have, the mineral kingdom cannot have. We humans have been blessed with Kalpana Shakti, a Shakti which can create a future, a Shakti which can imagine a future, a Shakti with which we can rewrite different things which are coming. We may not be influenced by what we are, but we have a power in which we can create a beautiful universe, what we want for ourselves at least. Yeah, so 12,000 to 60,000 thoughts per day, how much are repetitive thoughts do we have? There you go. So good. I think most of us are saying 80%. I think we are on the right trajectory. The right answer is 95%. 95%, are the repetitive thoughts per day. What does that mean? It means my today is 95% same as yesterday. There is no difference. There's only 5% difference between yesterday and today. Now, tomorrow will be also the 95% of today. So what we are trying to live in this life is, through our mind and heart, we are living the same life daily again and again, because 95% of us is the same tomorrow. There is no change in it, right? That also brings a beautiful point that whatever we read, I mean, we all want to change. We all want to break this, chain of repetition in us. We all want to break the shackles of something which is making us do tomorrow the same as I did today. But we are not able to transcend this, and 95% are still in the shackles of yesterday. They're living the past today, and future is based on what the past is. So all the education which we have received, all the good knowledge which we are receiving, all the support which we are receiving, all the books we are reading, they're not able to change my today, because I'm going to do tomorrow 95% what I did today, right? So there is a big impact on the repetition, on the same thing happening and happening again. Now in this, what is getting, what is not getting used is the power of our Kalpana Shakti, the imagination. We are not able to latch on to the hope, to the courage, to the love, to the, to all the potential which we have, because we are succumbing to the past, right? So, vritti, yoga, chitta vritti nirodha, the vritti is not changing. So, jab tak pravritti nahi badlegi, to prakriti nahi badlegi. Till these inner, the tendencies, the behavior, the thought patterns, they are not broken. The prakriti will not change. The nature will not change. What we are will not change. So it is like, we do upgrades of, mobile phones. So iOS 6 to 7 to 8, whatever it is, right? But there is no upgrade happening to us, to who we are. Our mind and heart is not getting changed. Why it's not getting changed? Because they are into the shackles of past. Now let's go to the next question, please. Now, of these 12,000 to 60,000 thoughts which we are having per day, how much negative thoughts per day do we have? Negative thoughts. I mean, we are repeating the same thing, but out of which negative thoughts, which are losing hope, which are discouraging, which are based on fear, which are based on I am not able to do this, which are based only the worst will happen. How many of these negative thoughts per day do we have? So remember, we have this Kalpana Shakti with us, a Shakti which makes us realize, that we can build a beautiful future, and that's what the human beings are for. the resiliency in us, the hope in us, the love in us, the courage in us is not getting used. We are still succumbing to these parameters which have captured us. So how much negative thoughts per day do we have? So we have this option today, say out of that, 12,000 to 60,000 thoughts, I can be hopeful, but I choose to be negative, right? So how many negative thoughts per day do we have? Right. I think the audience is slowly getting divided with a lot of equal numbers, but I think we are right. Let's go over a little bit more and have a few more entries. I think the team which gave 20%, I think those are the positive guys in the team. 50% slowly coming up, 90%, 80%. Right. So there's a neck to neck between 50% and 80%, and the right answer is 80%. So 80% is the negative thoughts processing which we have per day. So just imagine, I'm living today 95% what I would have lived yesterday because it's a repetitive thought. I'm not able to break it. And out of that 95%, out of that 100%, 80% are negative. So we are, just imagine we are into a pandemic era where a lot of hope, resilience, and positivity is required. But 80% of us believe, something negative about it, right? So the research says, another research which says is by the Cornell University that, firstly, 85% of what we worry about never happens. It never happens, 85%. Secondly, that 15% of that worries that did happen, 79% of the subject discovered that either they would handle the difficulty better than expected, or that difficulty taught them a lesson worth learning. So the conclusion is 97% of our worries are baseless and results from an unfounded pessimistic perception. So 97% are baseless and it's a result of our pessimistic perception, right? So it doesn't happen. Now that's another beauty about, we as human beings. Suppose something worse has happened in the past. Now, we human beings, using our kalpana shakti, using our imagination, we live the same instance today again, and day after again, and day after again. It is not there. There is no reality in it. It may happen or it may not happen. But we live the same thing again and again as if it is happening. Now, this is how our mind plays, and mind and heart fix with these impressions, with these thoughts. They play around us. They play into our inner psychodrama as if it is happening now. Now, when the mind plays this factor of negativity and fear, what happens to our, the body, the gross body, the body which we have? The body is designed to handle different emotions differently, right? So when the fear goes up, right? Now, the body goes and kind of releases cortisol. It's a hormone which says there is a stress, right? It is designed in our body for handling stress. So just imagine, a deer is being looked by a lion. Now, deer knows lion is going to eat, right? So it runs, right? So there is a big, it's like a fear in it, right? So there is a cortisol which is being pumped. What it says the BP goes up, the heart rate goes up, the pupils dilate. We fear little anxiety in us, right? All these things are done in us so that we manage that fear properly. So our body becomes equipped to manage that stress properly, right? Now, that is the purpose of that hormone which we have. But what happens in human beings? In us, there is actually no fear. The real lion has not yet come up. But we imagine that lion is coming and lion is coming and lion is coming. And when we imagine the lion is coming, The gross body, the body which we have, doesn't know the difference. It is coming or not coming. It believes the mind because of the Kalpana Shakti. And it releases cortisol, which is the stress hormone. And then the anxiety in us goes up, the fear in us goes up, the heart rate goes faster, right? The BP goes up because the body thinks there is a real stress and I need to manage it, right? Now, just imagine in that situation, I don't choose negative, I choose positive, right? As soon as I choose positive, the happy hormones like dopamine, oxytocin, endorphin, those they start getting released. Now, what is it? They helps us enjoy, they make it more calmer, they make us go through that process very carefully, right? So one thought, Kalpana Shakti, one thought makes our body react with cortisol or with happy hormones, the stress hormones or the happy hormones. Actually, the thing there's no reality behind it, but our mind makes it so. So the repetitive thoughts, the negative thoughts, they have so much power on us that they bring the whole system down and we are not able to rise above the occasion, right? So inner workings, inner thought patterns cannot be changed by just reading a book unless we really handle them the way they are, right? So where are the thoughts? How will we remove them, right? And what are these impressions which we are talking about? How can we remove them? I think that's the topic we are going to delve today with the experiential mechanism of handling a technique around it, right? So the problem statement is the negative thoughts, the thoughts of the past, which are not allowing us to move ahead, right? Now, we may think, yeah, that's a pretty good thing. I got the understanding and, we can solve it pretty easily, right? I mean, just remove the thought, put a new thought. So if you go around and search the Google, it will say, deflect the thought or remove this thought and put the other thought, right? I mean, there'll be a lot of, they are dealing with the thoughts as if you are dealing with a matter and you are able to do that successfully, right? But I think the problem is not that easy to manage. Let me give a small story behind it. And I think this story will make us realize, whether it is simple and generic to solve or we need a special mechanism to solve it. So in Mahabharata, the whole knowledge of Gita was given to Arjun, not to Duryodhana, right? Lord Krishna, in his infinite benevolence, he would have pretty much gone to Duryodhana and said, listen, let's not have war, and because of this beautiful knowledge which we have, and I'll show to you what it is, and let's not have a war. But that didn't happen. In spite, Arjun was made and inspired to have a war, right? So there must be very different, observation and perception of both Arjun and Duryodhana, because it was Lord Krishna. I mean, pretty much the Lord himself. So the Lord is not able to convince one person, which is Duryodhana, but he's able to convince another one, which is Arjun, right? So why did happen? Why it didn't happen? There be multiple views, but one of the views is this. And it is given in one of the Prapanna Gita. It says they went to Duryodhana and says, let's not have war. Duryodhana understood everything. But Jan gaya, he understood everything. And what did he reply? He says, Janami dharmam nacha me pravritti. Janami adharmam nacha me nivritti. I know what is right. Janami dharmam. I know what needs to be done. Nacha me pravritti. But I cannot do it. Pravritti. My vrittis, my inclinations, my inner nature, my tendencies are not that one. Janami dharmam, I know what is right. Nacha me pravritti, but I cannot do it. Janami adharmam, I know what should not be done. Nacha me nivritti, but I cannot leave it. I know what is right, but I cannot do it. I know what should not be done, but I cannot leave it. Now that's the biggest manifestation on how strong the hold of these pravrittis are on us, or these tendencies are on us, or these habits are on us, or these behaviors which is on us. And they are just holding us. Even if the Lord comes in front of us, I give the same reply. Janami dharmam nachame pravritti. I know what is right, but I cannot leave it. I know what is wrong, but I cannot do it. That is why these things has to be dealt in a different manner. We need to change the behavior pattern, the tendencies, right? And I mean, it is said Mahabharata was like 5000 BC or something. It's been an age-old problem that we are succumbing to our pravritti. We all are having this Duryodhan syndrome. I'm sure all those people who are there, who are watching us right now, we all know what needs to be done. We all have, in India, it's a huge, information highway regarding spirituality, regarding yogic practices. We all are getting that information to change us. हम जानते हैं मगर मानते नहीं. जानते हैं मगर मानते नहीं. We know what it needs to be done, but we don't understand, we don't feel it. And that is why this janna and manna is not allowing the pravritti to change, right? And what's happening now is we as this generation, we are giving something beautiful to our next generation, and they are giving beautiful to our next generation. So this is going across generation, and we are not changing at all, right? The human beings are still having negative thoughts. We are not able to master their thoughts. So what is this impression? What is not allowing us to change, right? So let's take an example, right? We have a plant which comes out of a soil, right? But we see the plant, we don't see the seed of it, right? We see the manifestation, but we don't see the beach, the seed of it, right? Now, every thought which we have in our conscious mind has a seed of it in our subconscious mind, right? Now, all these 12,000 to 60,000 thoughts which we are processing, we are not conscious of it. We are conscious of only few of them, but they are getting processed by us only, right? Our whole system is involved in the process because it is a subconscious mind which we have, on which the conscious mind comes, right? And it is said in yoga that conscious mind is nothing but a thin layer. On one end is the subconscious mind, on the other it's a superconscious mind. So the seed of these thoughts, which is called in Yogic Sutra, which are beej, are in the subconscious mind. So we can remove what is there in the conscious mind by saying this should not happen, I should not be angry anymore, I should not have revenge, I should have courage, I should not have fear. We can remove the conscious mind. We can remove the plants, but the seed is not removed. If the seed is not removed, it will again come up again. It will again come up again. So we may feel a temporary respite of removing this from our conscious mind, but the subconscious mind seed is still there, and it will again bring it again. It will again throw it out. Now, when these type of things they happen, right, then we need a technique through which the subconscious mind, these seeds are taken out so that the plant doesn't grow up again, right? What are these seeds made of, right? So these are the thoughts which are coming up, and they have a seed in the ground. The ground is our subconscious mind. Now, subconscious mind is managed only by emotions. It is like the emotional layer which we have in us, right? And on top of it, there is a conscious mind, which is the thought, the action. Everything is delved into the emotional, the seed which we have, the subconscious mind. So these seeds are nothing but the emotional memory of our thoughts. These are called impressions. What do I mean? Suppose something, we are very angry. Now, with a particular situation, we got very angry, or with a particular situation, we got too much fear, right? Now, that the emotional content of that thought slowly descend into our subconscious mind and form that seed. So next time when the same situation will come again, this seed, which is the emotional memory of that thought, will again crop up and connect and give us a thought of anger, make us more angry, make us have more fear. Actual situation has not happened. We don't know whether it will be requiring our fear or anger. But because the emotional memory, the seed is there in our subconscious mind, it gives us that plant, it gives us that thought, and that keeps on cluttering our head. That doesn't allow us to be centered, that doesn't allow us to be free from the past, because these seeds are there in our subconscious mind. So we need to a process through which we need to go over and remove this seed from our subconscious mind. Now, the process. Now, how does nature helping us? You may say, Rishi, that is fine. We understand a little bit of this, mechanics of thought, conscious mind, subconscious mind, the effect of it on our day-to-day life, how we are, going through the shackles of the past. But I mean, we are part of nature. How does nature helps us, right? So, what does nature do? So, each of these seeds go through experience, right? The thought needs an experience to be satiated, right? That's the thought. That's the power of the thought, and that's the ultimate aim of that thought, to have an experience, right? So each seeds needs an experience, which is called bhoga, anubhav. So that anubhav has to happen of that seed. That is the bhoga. The seed has to perform, and the bhoga has to happen. And that's why this life is given to us in a beautiful manner, in which we go through the experiences of different, the samskara, these seeds which we are having in our subconscious mind. And that is what life is for. So we go through the experiences and different experiences, making us a life, which go through those experiences, so that these seeds are kind of reduced or removed, right? But the way we live through these bhoga is not particularly conducive to go through it. We form more samskara on us, we form more impressions on us by rejecting those experiences, by saying, no, this experience is not there. And then some again, impressions form us. So bottom line is, there are too many impressions happening in us. There's like a jungle which is getting created, and we are not able to think right. 95% is that jungle of repetitive thoughts, and 80% of them are negative, and we are filled in our mind and heart with this thought. Now, let's go towards another polling which we have now. Let's put in one more question. Can we have the Mentimeter, please? Right. So this question is a little experiential, and I want all of us to be honest with this and just experience it. Just be an experimenter. So imagine one single thought of the situation of absolute fear, which you faced in your life for 2 minutes. Just think of it: the fear of what will happen to my job, the fear of losing a loved one, the fear of relationship, fear which we have, the fear of something extreme, whether it is emotional or physical or economical, fear of something, the fear which we had. What was that at that time? How were we experiencing it? What are the emotions we were going through when we had that situation? The fear in us, the fear of being alone, the fear of not being taken care by anybody. Absolute fear. Chaos. We don't know what will happen next. Oh, what are you feeling now? Are you feeling happiness? Non-clarity. You are feeling fear also now, or you have compassion. 2 मिनट के लिए सोचिए कि एकदम भय हमारे हृदय में, भय कि कुछ छूट जाएगा, भय कि कल क्या होगा. इसको सोचते हुए अब आप अपने हृदय में देखें कि इस वक्त आपके हृदय में क्या भाव है. Is it happiness, non-clarity, fear, compassion? Thank you. So most of us are into the fear and non-clarity range. I think 80% of 80% is in that range. That's exactly the power of subconscious mind. We are living that again and again. It has not yet happened, but it generates something which is, fear and non-clarity. If you see happiness and compassion, few of us are feeling like that. They are, seeing those things little bit from a farther point of view. We'll go into that details also. But, most of us are into that fear and non-clarity now, right? That's the power of subconscious mind on us. That's the power of our, our Chetan and Achetan, the power of emotions on us. We cannot, and that's what makes it more repetitive. Let's go to the next question. So हम लोग फिर से वही एक्सरसाइज करेंगे जो भी की. So anger, right? क्रोध. Imagine कीजिए कि किसी को आप पर क्रोध आया. Somebody had absolute anger on you, or you had on somebody else. Or rather, let's imagine somebody had anger on you. आप किसी क्रोध वाली चीज से या किसी वातावरण से you have gone through that anger, right? Somebody was shouting at you, whether it your office, आपके ऑफिस में, घर में, रिलेशनशिप में, spouse, in-laws, relatives, किसी को आप पर क्रोध आया. क्रोध. उसके बाद उस सिचुएशन को सोचने के बाद इस वक्त हमारे हृदय में क्या होगा? हमारे हृदय में फियर है, एंगर है, सैडनेस है या कंपैशन है? Absolute anger. Anger is said to be, anger is an emotion which says drinking poison and hoping the other person will die. ऐसे जैसे हमने खुद जहर पी लिया हो और सोच रहे हो कि दूसरे को इससे हानि होगी. So it's a self inflicting emotion. It takes a lot of things away from us, right? So imagine for 2 minutes the absolute anger which we have gone through with our spouse, the in-laws or relatives for 2 minutes. And what are you feeling now? Or just imagine the 80% of negative thoughts and 95% of the thoughts of repetitions, right, are made of these qualities only, right? And we are living them again and again. So we are having fear, we are having all these emotions getting into ourselves again and again. Whereas actually there is no line. Actually, वो situation reality में नहीं, लेकिन हमारा mind कल्पना शक्ति की वजह से उसको फिर से वैसा ही create कर रहा है. Exactly. Sadness, anger, fear. It is generating all that part of our emotional journey, right? Now, we are, so this result has also shown that कि हम उन्हीं भावनाओं से खेल रहे हैं जो हमारे पास अंदर मौजूद है, और हम उनको सोचते ही हमारा रिएक्शन भी वैसा ही है. सो रिएक्शन, तो जस्ट इमेजिन वो विचार जैसे ही ऊपर आया हमारा अंदर का वातावरण वैसा हो गया. अब इमेजिन कीजिए आप ऑफिस जा रहे हैं या घर से बाहर निकले हैं या यू आर गोइंग टू योर परिवार में जा रहे हैं और हमारे दिल में इतना एंगर, सैडनेस, फियर भरा हुआ है एंड इट इज रिपीटिंग अगेन एंड अगेन. तो हम कैसे एक अच्छी तरह से बाहर वातावरण में बिहेव कर पाएंगे? सो द इमोशंस इज क्रिएटिंग दैट रिएक्शन. तभी हमारा रिएक्शन एक हार्डवायर की तरह बंध जाता है. वी रिएक्ट, वी डोंट रिस्पॉन्ड. हम किसी चीज को सही तरीके से उसकी अनुक्रिया नहीं करते, हम सिर्फ प्रतिक्रिया करते हैं। तो जब हम प्रतिक्रिया करते जाते हैं तो ये हमारे अंदर और भी चीज, जितनी तीव्र प्रतिक्रिया होती है, जितना शार्प हमारी फियर होता है, जितना शार्प हमारा एंगर होता है, हमारे संस्कार, द इम्प्रेशंस आर मेड ऑफ दैट ओनली, द रिएक्शन इज मेड ऑन the impressions are made based on the intensity of these reactions which we have. So हम और हार्ड वायर हो जाते हैं और हम बंध जाते हैं, we become more riveted to it, जैसे एक आयरन चेन बन जाती है. Now that being said, now let's go into the solution part of it. How do we solve all this, right? How do we remove this seed from our subconscious mind? And that's where the today's technique which comes, which is heartfulness cleaning method, right? So cleaning, it removes the seed from our subconscious mind. So once we do the cleaning, we will feel that these seeds are removed from our subconscious mind. So हमारा जो अंदर का वातावरण है, it becomes pure. Now only those thoughts which are in alignment with that subconscious mind will come in us, right? We'll not be having that emotions into those thoughts anymore, right? We'll be seeing it from a very different, from a perspective of a witness. जैसे हमारे साथ कोई चीज हुई है तो हुई है. जैसे कि if we eat pasta and say sauce of that pasta falls on our clothes, right? And we immediately remove it, so there is no impression, right? But if we keep it for a long time, then the sauce will have an effect onto our clothes, right? So when we get up in the morning, we are all clean and pure. We do our meditation in the morning. We invite the divine in us. We become fully charged with positivity and hope. But during the day, lot of these external circumstances create an impression on us, right? Like we used to say in corporate that when a boss gets up in the morning, nobody wants to be a bad boss. कोई खराब व्यक्ति नहीं होना चाहता, लेकिन दिन भर की चीजें जिस तरह से होती हैं, उसके ऊपर इतना बोझ हो जाता है कि by the time you come at home in the night, you are filled with these emotions and turbulences in our thought. What cleaning does it? It removes the effect of that onto us, right? It's like an inner spa which we can take, right? So let's go through this cleaning method right now, and we'll experiment this cleaning with us in a guided manner for 10 minutes or so. And then we'll come back again. So can we put then the cleaning video?
Cleaning is done in the evening after the end of a day's work. You are mentally cleaning complexities and impurities from your system. Sit comfortably, gently close your eyes and relax. Bring attention to your back, from top of the head down to the tailbone. Imagine all complexities and impurities are going out of the whole system in the form of smoke. The smoke is oozing out from the entire back. Do not dwell on specific events or things to get rid of. Simply brush them off. Gently accelerate the process with faith and confidence. Apply your willpower as needed. Continue with the process for about 20 minutes. As the impressions leave, you will feel lighter and lighter, creating a vacuum in the heart. A sacred current from the divine source descends to your heart to fill this space. The sacred current is helping you remove the impressions. When complexities and impurities are gone, you're feeling simple, you're feeling pure. The sacred current is entering every cell, every corner of your body. The whole body is feeling sacred. Your whole body is now completely purified.
Right. Thank you. Thank you. Now we will practice this cleaning, guided cleaning. हम लोग अब हार्टफुलनेस क्लीनिंग का प्रयोग अब अपने ऊपर करेंगे. अगले 10-15 मिनट जैसे मैं कहता जाऊं, आप लोग वैसा इमेजिन कीजिए कि आपके साथ हो रहा है, और फिर हम लोग 10 मिनट में देखेंगे कि इसकी प्रक्रिया हमारे ऊपर क्या प्रभाव डालती है. How are we impacted by the cleaning process? So we'll start heartfulness cleaning. It will take around 10 minutes to go over it. This is just an example to understand the cleaning process. Gently close your eyes. धीरे से अपनी आंखें बंद कर लें. Bring your attention to your back. From the top of your head till your tailbone. अपना ध्यान पीठ की तरफ लाएं. सर के ऊपर के भाग से लेकर पीठ के नीचे we'll start the cleaning process with the intent that I am getting pure. Imagine all the complexities, impurities, and grossness are leaving you from the back in form of vapors. All the complexities, impurities, and grossness are leaving you from your back in form of vapors. सभी स्थूलताएं, अपवित्रताएं और जड़ता मेरी पीठ के द्वारा वाष्प की तरह बाहर जा रही। All complexities, impurities, and grossness are leaving from my back in form of vapors. All complexities, impurities, and grossness are leaving from my back in form of vapors. सभी स्थूलताएं, अपवित्रताएं और जड़ता मेरी पीठ के द्वारा वाष्प की तरह बाहर जा रही। Now increase the pace of this process. Make it faster. All complexity, impurity, and grossness are leaving from my back in form of vapors. इस प्रक्रिया को और भी तेज की। Apply your willpower and determination. They are leaving you in form of vapors from the back of your body. कभी स्थूलताएं, जड़ता और अपवित्रताएं मेरी पीठ के द्वारा वाष्प की तरह बाहर जा रहे हैं। All complexities, impurities, and grossness are leaving me from my back in form of vapors. Now slowly my heart is becoming simpler and purer. There is some sort of emptiness which is coming in my heart. Imagine there is divine light from the source which is coming from front and filling your heart. This light is going into each and every cell of your existence and removing all the impurities, complexities, and grossness. Your whole body is becoming purer and simpler. It has now become a sacred temple of Lord. Cleaning process is finished. Now gently open your eyes. Thank you. So we experienced heartfulness cleaning for, I think, around 10 minutes. It's like a small example. This cleaning process has to be done at the end of the day, once we are finished with the day's work in the evening for around 20 to 30 minutes. But with this small example, let's see how it has helped us a little bit. Can we put on the questions for the Mentimeter? Now let's revisit the same question. Imagine one single thought of the situation of absolute fear which you faced in your life for 2 minutes. Now, same thought is there, but how are you feeling after doing this cleaning? Is it having the same effect as before? Or that fear is with lesser impact on consciousness? It is there, but it is not hurting us too much. Or there is lesser fear, but we feel an inward relaxed state. Or there is a relaxed inner state with the idea of the original thought without fear. Are we able to look at the thought without the emotion of fear as a witness? You can go to menti.com and use code 135389. Is it same as before, or with lesser impact? Or we are seeing a relaxed inner state, or we are able to see that thought without fear. We are just able to observe that as a witness. So these are different, inner, development and growth when our consciousness expands. We no longer identify ourselves with that fear. We are becoming more and more expansive in nature, because the effect of subconscious mind on our conscious mind doesn't have that impact. Right. So as we can see, a little bit of this 10 minutes cleaning is helping us. It's making us consciousness move, because now we realize that we are centering ourselves in our own source, and that's the beauty of this cleaning process. So you can use it, any time of the day. You can use it. Suppose there is a problem in your office, at your home. Just sit for 5 minutes, do this cleaning, and immediately we can see a shift into our consciousness. I'm happy to see that there is relaxed inner state with the idea of original thought without fear. I mean, if we are able to experience that within 10 minutes, I think congratulations to all of us. Because what we are able to do now is not only we are having a relaxed state, but we are also able to see the thought, but without fear. What does it mean? It's just a kalpana. It's just there. You're not able to, association of this from our subconscious mind is removed. It is like any other thought. I mean, I'm reading newspaper, I'm reading TV, seeing TV, but they're not having any effect on me. They're not making me getting excited. They're not in resonance with my inner nature. And that's mean that part is removed. Good. So I think we got a good idea of what we are trying to do with the cleaning. Lesser fear with relaxed inner state, because we are now centered in ourselves. All these things are not having any effect. हमारे ऊपर इन भावनाओं का हमारी प्रतिक्रिया नहीं बन रही। प्रतिक्रिया क्यों नहीं बन रही? क्योंकि उसका जो बीज था वो हटा दिया गया। तो बीज जब हट जाता है तो ये प्रतिक्रिया नहीं होती है। लेकिन इमेजिन कीजिए कि ये तो हमने पुराना वाला हटाया, लेकिन कितना हम आज बना लेंगे, कितना हम कल फिर बना लेंगे। इसलिए उसको लगातार हटाते रहना है। जैसे खरपतवार हटाई जाती है, जैसे वो बीज हटाए जाते हैं, जब फसल उगती है तो वो खरपतवार वहां से हटा दी जाती है, क्योंकि वो अच्छे पेड़ों को फलने फूलने नहीं देती। वैसे ही ये हमारे हमारे हृदय और हमारे मन में हमारे पैदा होने वाली वो खरपतवार है। Thank you. I think we'll not go into the second question. I think it will more of the same. Now we'll kind of go into the meditation for today. What we will do is for next 10-15 minutes or so around, we will do meditation. And what does meditation? I think yesterday we would have learned. Meditation helps us attract the positivity, the divinity, the hope within us. So cleaning, think of it, cleaning is like a jar. Whatever is in the jar, you remove it by cleaning. And meditation, you pour in the essence, you pour in the divine in yourself, right? So that's what we are going to do meditation. It's the right time. We have done a little bit of cleaning. We are feeling inward relaxed. Now let's go into the meditation. Now gently close your eyes. Your mind and body are completely relaxed. आपका मन और शरीर पूरी तरह से आराम की अवस्था में। धीरे से अपना ध्यान हृदय की ओर लाएं। Gently bring your attention to your heart. Your heart is filled with love and simplicity. आपका हृदय प्रेम और सरलता से भरा हुआ है। Imagine the feeling of divine light in my heart. Which is attracting. महसूस कीजिए मेरे हृदय में एक दिव्य प्रकाश वो मुझे अपनी ओर आकर्षित कर रहा है। इसी विचार में डूब get absorbed in this thought. If there are any other thoughts which disturbs you, gently remind yourself that you are meditating. अगर कोई और विचार आए तो धीरे से अपने को ये याद दिलाएं कि मैं ध्यान में बैठा हूँ. Please start meditation. धीरे से अपनी आंखें खोलें। Thank you. That's all I have for today. Thanks for joining for the cleaning session and the meditation session. My prayers and best wishes for all of us. Thank you.
So thank you, Rishi. For some of us who are probably doing this for the first time, the session may have been a struggle, but all I can say is that we need to keep at it. And over a period of time, I suppose we will be able to get the full benefits of the process, and also it will be a lot easier for us. The only thing is we need to keep practicing it over a period of time. So thank you so much, Rishi, and to all the people who have been here today. My earnest request is please be here tomorrow morning also for the final session. And I'm sure it's going to be as fulfilling as it was today. Thank you all.
Thank you.